is the Rebel Author Podcast, where we talk about books, business, and occasionally bad words. Hello, Rebels, and welcome to episode 21 of The Black Heron. Today, Rachel and I have a little Kickstarter chat and then a good old catch-up and gossip-a-roo by the fireside as usual. So tuck in, grab a brew, and enjoy.
Well, hello, Sasha Black.
Hello, darling.
It's so good to see you. We were just chatting, gossiping off air about your forthcoming trip to New Zealand.
So it's been in the works for so long, but now it's starting to feel real. Now the schedule and the itinerary is like getting finalized. Now we know what hotels we're going to be in. It's getting exciting. But I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about your Kickstarter. Tell me everything. We can talk about New Zealand after.
Oh, my Kickstarter was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I think in my wildest dreams, I could have wished to have hit $20,000, but I honestly didn't think that I would because I wasn't, here's the thing, I wasn't selling anything super sexy, fun, or flash. I didn't have any beautiful gold foiling. I just had this book and the audio, and I was doing coaching and another couple of my books, but really not that much. And and this is true. When I put my goal to be $2,000, I thought, of course I will hit $2,000, but then at least it will go, because when I almost made it $5,000, and then I thought, oh, but that kind of be a bummer if I can't hit $5,000, and then I've got to tell all of those people who pledged, like, oh, actually it didn't go, so you'll need to buy the book when it comes out over here, and that's going to be confusing. So set it low enough to hit it. Like, you'll hit $2,000 by the end of a month or 3 weeks. Excuse me. And then it hit in 2 hours. And then it just kept going up. And it hit 20,196 by the last minute. And I
Goosebumps.
I just kept, and I can't explain this tendency in me, but I get so stressed out in such a good way, but I get stressed out by good things. Like, I just kept having to not think about it. When it hit its funding goal, I was actually out on a walk because I couldn't look at the computer. I didn't even want to be tempted to look at the computer. And then Ed, my assistant, texted me, and I texted back. I'm like, that is amazing. I love it. Please don't text me any more numbers, because I will fall into the gutter and I will not be able to get up. I will not be able to pull myself out. Like, it's just, I will stress myself into a coma because it was so exciting. It was so exciting. So I just kept letting the Kickstarter kind of happen. Oh, but as I'm sure you saw, fill your feed, the best thing that I did with the Kickstarter, and I think I would do this with any Kickstarter that I do in some way, shape, or form, is that I tried my best to market, but as we know, marketing is really hard. I did try to hit all of the socials, except for TikTok. I just never made that work. I couldn't make TikTok work, and I let that go. It was probably not the book for TikTok anyway, so that's good. But I asked myself, what do I love to do in terms of marketing? And the thing that I love to do is talk to other people about themselves. And so I set up with you were the very first, the Unstuck little mini series. And I think I got one out every day of the Kickstarter. They're 15 minutes or so. People talking about getting unstuck. People are still talking about yours and how much.
No.
Absolutely. How much it moved them and how much it meant to them.
Aww.
That was my dog making weird noises. And that just made me so happy because I was able to do something and promote something every day. And I was able to, without even feeling funny about it, saying, I wrote this book. It was about getting unstuck after you've gotten yourself into a place you wanted to be, but then you need to get out. So I was able to continue talking about it and really make sure that people knew what it was about, but I was able to do it completely joyfully. And I've heard from so many people who loved the little series of these extras. I haven't actually looked at the my podcaster to see if it bumped up listens, but I bet it did too. You know, the more you feed it, the more it grows. So that was wonderful. And today is the first day I'm going to look at like pulling together the fulfillment figuring out what that looks like in terms of scheduling and all of that. I gave myself a couple days off just to like revel.
You remember how you said you were opening yourself up to other things because you were stopping
Yes.
teaching? Almost feels like this could financially fill the gap of
Yeah.
teaching, because you have all those books ready to publish too. So
There
you
or
could,
very close. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's almost like the universe, you asked and the universe has delivered. Like, how fucking exciting is
Isn't,
that?
isn't that awesome?
I
It's
know,
just
it really, really is.
I feel so so grateful. Like when I was doing the bills yesterday, I was thinking, oh, and then the Kickstarter money will come in, and I'm not sure of that how much I will make, but I will be eager to find out like what percentage of that will be take home pay after net.
So you'll probably lose, I think it's like 8% they
Mhm.
guesstimate at, some with drop-offs and some because like Stripe payment fees and then Kickstarter fees. It ends up at about 8%,
Okay, great. 8%, and then
roughly,
minus that's really good to know. And then
minus
minus the
fulfillment.
the
So it's
books and
about
fulfillment
50,
postage. Yeah.
about
Okay, I
50%
was
usually.
that would be great. I was really hoping for
Yeah,
50%. So that's like a nice $10,000 paycheck, that then,
right?
and then
Yeah.
taxes and everything. But that is it's just like that's gonna be in my pocket in a couple of weeks.
And that's before you've even launched the book. So you're launching in the
Before
black.
I've launched the book.
I know. It's
Launching in
incredible, right?
the black. It makes me so happy and so pleased that I went this way, that I never considered going a different way.
Was there anything you didn't like about Kickstarter? Because I have learned a lot of incredible lessons, a lot of stuff that I loved, and a lot of stuff I'm not going to do again.
In terms of, well, I haven't,
I suppose you're
do you,
not through
I'm
fulfillment
not
yet, are
through
you? So I'm
fulfillment.
probably a little bit early. Okay, I'm going to ask you that question again in a month's time.
I would love to talk about that then because I am a little bit scared of the fulfillment. And I just need I just need a little
Yeah.
spreadsheet and work through them one by one. There is, I was trying to be in that lovely position of today being able to send, push on the digital assets, but I add the stretch goals have made me add to the digital assets. There's going to be a family portrait of us in the book, and there's going to be an epilogue. So I need to write the
You,
epilogue next week. And
you don't have
then,
to deliver those all at the same time, though. So I delivered
especially with
mine in phases.
especially with the epilogue though, I kind of want to deliver the book whole. So if somebody sits
Okay,
down and
that's,
reads
yeah,
front to back, because epilogues
yeah,
always feel so yummy and juicy to me anyway, I want that in there, but
yeah,
I can get that done in a couple weeks.
yeah.
So then the
Have
whole
you
book will
had the
be ready to
payout
go.
then?
No.
Don't deliver before payout.
Oh, interesting. Of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, no, don't deliver until payout because because
You don't actually
at
know who's going to come
payout,
through.
you don't actually know who's, yeah, exactly. So you need Kickstarter to
Ah,
finalize. So you have a few more days before you need to worry about fulfillment. Yeah. So don't deliver it because also I think you'll struggle to mark things as shipped or fulfilled because it hasn't finalized.
that's perfect. Then that makes me, I just wanted to almost over deliver, under promise and over
Yeah.
deliver, but
Yeah.
I can't and I don't need to, and people aren't waiting for to receive it today.
Yeah,
So
especially on Kickstarter, they are very, very used to waiting very long
right.
periods of times for things. It's not like it's definitely not like the normal, where's the pre-order, where's the pre-order, where's the pre-order. It's just
Any
not the same.
anything I've ever backed in Kickstarter, I don't get for 6 to 8 months. And in fact, there is one device that I kickstarted, I want to say 8 or 10 years ago, that is still not fulfilled. They're still in production of it. And I get an update every once in a while. It's this mini CPAP that is just like this big that you can travel
What's a
with.
CPAP?
CPAP is a continuous pulmonary it's the thing you wear on your face because you stop breathing all night long. I stop breathing like 150 times a night.
Ah.
So, but it's like this big machine, and this one is a really little kind of robotic one, and I still don't have it. And
That's so cool.
they keep saying they're going to give it to me someday. So, but yeah, like Kickstarter, people are not worried about that, and I really love that. Um, but It was a pretty wonderful experience. And I would love to talk to you next month about what it might
Okay.
be less wonderful, the lessons learned, because I'm still definitely on the rosy high. Do
Oh
you want to
yeah,
tell
I
me
think
about any of the
yeah,
things that?
and it's not, it's a structural thing for me.
Mhm.
So, and I should have listened because Joe definitely talked about it in the lessons, and I thought I was doing what she said, and I think I got carried away with adding things, and she may have told me to take things off. So essentially, the only thing for me, Kickstarter's like 97% positive,
Mhm.
and the 3% is that there were a couple of things that I had to do after I'd done the fulfillment day,
Mm.
and my hashtag achiever felt like we were done on a fulfillment day. And we weren't actually activator was like, we're on to the new thing now. And achiever was like, oh honey, we're not. Like,
So
so
wait, did
I
you had a fulfillment day where you tried to get everything out at once, kind
Yeah,
of
because
thing?
I went to Book Vault and Book Vault had done all the printing. So I turned up to like 300 books that
Oh,
needed
right, right,
signing.
right.
And I'd pre-made all of the boxes and we took like 100 boxes that were pre-made. And there were quite a lot of things that I'd pre-done getting there. But actually, even getting there, we learned some lessons about actually I need to do even more.
Mm.
So for example, I had like 5 different art prints, and actually, I'm going to buy envelopes and have all of the art prints in the envelopes before we get there because it was hands and everything everywhere. Yeah. So anyway, so I then went there, signed, and I had like 7 people packing, and it still took us 4 hours because there were so many boxes to do. But that was all fine. That was very exciting. That was super fun. Nothing bad to say about that. But I basically had 3 spicy scenes to write, edit, and then 6 books to hand annotate. And that
Oh,
was what
yeah,
killed me.
yeah.
So I love annotating books, but it was taking like 7 hours a book. So that's like nearly 40, well, however many fucking hours it was. Basically, if you think about it, like most people sit down at like what? Well, if you, I don't know, we sit down at about 8 because that's when Atlas goes to bed, right? So
Hmm.
then instead of sitting down, I was going from 8 until about 10:30 annotating every night for like the last 3 weeks, and I'm exhausted. And I just can't ever do that again because
No.
I feel completely broken again at like levels of tired
No.
because I'm so exhausted. And so yeah, no, it's not that like I may do one book and annotate one book and that's it, and it would have a really fucking high price on it. But yeah, so that's probably the only thing that I learned that was a negative is that for me and my strengths, the day we fulfill, that's it, we're done. So we better make sure, I do a digital delivery after that, but that's it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
think about that in terms of how I structure the next one.
Yeah, that is so good. I made sure that I'm not mailing anything except for um book book plates, signed book plates. So that's really easy, and that's just like shove in an envelope and go. Um, sign and then shove in an envelope and go. The thing that will take me a while to fulfill is that I've got, but it's just awesome, is that I have a bunch of coaching that I'm going to be doing and, rolling it over the course of however much time that will take. But so that will not be instantly fulfilled, but I think I heard on a podcast somewhere that, you can fulfill that day by giving them the certificate. Basically, here
Yeah.
is your
Yeah.
certificate. And so it goes out with the fulfillment. For me, the
Did
thing
you
that is
put
really slowing me down is the audio. I just need to finish the audio.
did you put a time on it so they can only have the coaching within X time period?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that yeah, okay,
Yeah, I
good.
will. I
Yeah.
haven't sent that out yet, but that's in there too. Yeah. Most people just
Good.
got the one-off coaching, and then there were a few who
Mhm.
got the 3, and I think I said over 90 days.
Is this the audio booth that you brought when we very first started podcasting?
It isn't. I have that damn audio booth. It's so good, but we have these, you will meet these endemic parrots. They're called kaka, and they are the screechiest little motherfuckers ever. So I ended up finding the local library had a freaking sound booth where it was free for 2 hours at a time. And I
No
can't I
way.
can't record for more than 2 hours at a time. My voice goes. So I did the whole book in 2 hour chunks. It was great. It's been in the can for, months, but the actual editing, it takes me a full day to edit a chapter when when I'm working, like that's the one thing. So I've got like probably another 7 days of doing this. But I really enjoy the editing, but that's the last digital thing that I just need to clean up.
Yeah, the editing for me becomes very like, I don't know if you like clicked or made sounds or whatever, but you tend to then, and the other thing that I think is really weird is that our voices have a shape and our
Hmm.
breathing has a shape, and you
Hmm.
start to spot your own breathing. So I know I see mouth sounds, and I'm like, oh, I know what I did there, or I can see, and you start to be able to work very quickly through the edits because
Yes.
you literally see the shape of your language. Like it's so weird. Like I
Well, and
love
now
it.
I'm using Hindenburg, which actually which gives you a transcript of everything that you said. So as you're going through, you can see that you said the elevator started, and then you said the elevator start. What is wrong with me? The elevator started. And so you can actually skip forward to edit it out.
Do you have
Yeah.
any bloopers?
I did. I put one blooper up on one of the podcasts. It was terrible. It was she sells seashells, basically. I could not do this thing. It was something about the desk. I can't, I can't remember
I
what it was,
always
but
cut bloopers out and roll them together. Like, and I usually get quite aggressively angry about when I'm recording. And I definitely share. I didn't do it this time, but I did share them last time with the patrons, and I just had people cry laughing because I was like so cross in the booth. But yeah, I love the bloopers. That's like
and I
such a
talk to
great over
myself too.
delivery.
It
Oh
is, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, oh, like you're like, could you hear my stomach in that one? And then you roll it
Yeah,
back and you're
like get a
like,
grip,
oh yeah.
like yeah.
So that was fun. So that's what I'm doing
Yeah.
right now is just editing that. Oh, I did find a great app. I mean, there's just so much technology out there, but I do, and a lot of us do this, but like it's called mouth clicking, where
Hmm.
sometimes you'll just hear like it's almost like a wet click
You
before
like that
you
kind
say,
of
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, and I would used to take those out by hand, one by one, and that's what I've done for all of my books. Well, all two that I've done before this. This is my third. And I found one that takes them all out automatically. It just sucks them out, and it sucks out the ones that are inside words too. Like it's just so good.
What's this? I need this.
It's Isotope RX, Isotope
Oh, somebody told me
RX.
about that.
And I think I just got it for a month, and I'll cancel it when I'm done because it's quite expensive. But I just got
Okay.
the month thing. So when you're actually doing it, but it'll take out, I'm gonna be so embarrassed to say this, but but for each chapter, which they're usually about 30 minutes, they could get like 1,000 clicks out. Just like 1,000 small wet noises from inside my words, which most people listening to the podcast won't really notice that much, except now they will. Now they're going to hear every wet noise. But just the fact that we live technologically where we can suck those out. I cannot suck the sound of the caca out, though. I just can't, because when it's above the house, I cannot be in the
So
house. But and you wouldn't want to wake somebody if somebody's drifting off to sleep to your voice, and
yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like.
I so there's a mouth sound I just tutted. The ones that I did for the Kickstarter were the first spicy scenes I've ever narrated.
Yeah, yeah. How did that
That
go?
was so fucking fun.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was so fun. But I made one of my readers choke. That's what she said. She was listening while she was eating dinner, and because obviously I made a sound, she she choked, and it's my favorite thing I've ever been told. I adore this person, and they've been a wonderful support through this. But when they messaged me just choked, I literally like cry laughed like because of it, because I knew exactly what moment she was taking.
And that is when you can pat yourself on the back for being a very schmexy writer. Do
Well,
I
the thing
love
I
that.
was worried about was like, I obviously with the non-fiction, it's all my own voice, but I actually did character voices.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of people say, oh, I was worried because you're an author that's done it. But I actually did character voices, and they've all said, actually, you did it quite well. Like I didn't notice it was you because, people who listen to the podcast or whatever, they were expecting to hear me. And actually, they didn't.
Right.
They just heard the characters. And I was like,
Oh, that's
well,
great.
that's cool. Yeah.
Did
Yeah. So
you
I was
get
really
any
proud.
audiobook training on it or no?
No, I did tell you once upon a time that I was going to have a narrator training session, and I
Yeah.
haven't ever done it just because I haven't had time. But I just leaned into the fun that me and Atlas do, like where we play silly voice games and stuff. And
Yeah.
also, the two characters had very distinct voices to me, so it was very easy to do that. I think if I didn't hear them so clearly, then perhaps it would have been
Mhm.
harder. But yeah, it was fun.
That is so cool. I
We
love
need
that
more
you
fun
did
in
that.
our bloody life.
We
But
do
yeah,
need more
I
fun. And your reader choke. Can I tell you my favorite sexy time story from when I used to write sexy romance?
yeah,
I
yeah.
was at a knitting conference and somebody is selling books, as you do. And my first 5 books were in a series and they were really, really sexy. Very, 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 very spicy. And one woman
Were
came
they
up to me and
straight?
yeah, straight. So I do need to get the first 3 recorded, and I don't think I could do them because I don't know if I could do the. But anyway, but a woman came up to me and she said, I just love your books. I love them. They're so great. But I couldn't, and I have the whole set, but I couldn't find book 2. Could not find book 2. It's just been missing for a while, and I just found it under my 13-year-old boy's mattress. Sasha's face, y'all. Sasha's face. So what I loved so much about that is that she left it there, number one. Number two, that man who was now a man, this was 10 years ago, more, he's on a subway somewhere in New York looking at a woman knitting and going, I don't know why, but that's the hottest thing I have ever seen. I cannot control myself around a knitter, but he won't remember.
Knitting kink unlocked.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I absolutely love it. Knitting kink is not something I ever thought we would discuss, but there we go.
It exists. It exists. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
so
goodness
how
me.
have you been? Tell me how you have been. What has been going on? Because I'm behind
Well,
on the podcast, so I don't know anything.
oh yeah. So, well, obviously I'm quite tired because I have worked too many evenings again. I learnt, my strengths coach told me that this is a significance achiever thing. So
Mm.
if we feel like we owe people something, not owe as in a negative owe, but like we've committed to doing work, almost the
Yeah.
same way somebody with high responsibility would feel. Like achiever significance combines to have the manifestation of responsibility. So we feel very like we will break
Oh,
ourselves to make sure that we
interesting.
deliver what it is that we said because we feel responsible for giving that to that
Yep.
person. So and this is why I can't have it like that again next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've mostly been doing that. I think I'm 25,000 words into book 2. I've learned something else about myself. With those same 2 strengths, I've been absolutely having my ass kicked by those 2 strengths the last 3 weeks because so I don't remember when we last spoke, but I had another viral TikTok. So my
Did
income,
you?
yeah, I did. So it blew all over again. This is my
I do not know about
highest.
this. Tell me everything.
Okay. So basically, I was feeling a bit like not jaded, but like tired. And like with doing TikTok every day, because even though it doesn't take a huge amount of time, it is quite relentless. Like if you have
Hmm.
to do it every day. And we
And
are
how
at
many
the
times a
point
day are
where
you happy doing it now? Are you
4,
doing 4? Okay. Wow.
4 times a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are definitely at the point where you can overlay my TikTok views onto my Amazon income. Yeah, it is that I mean, and I'm barely spending any money on ads. And
Yeah.
so I was getting tired and I was like, what can I do that's the most me thing possible? So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go to the Amazon top 100 and look at all of the authors who are in the top 100. And then I'm going to go to the top 100 of my genres and I'm going to look at all of the authors in those ones. And then I went to TikTok and I had a look at what these people were doing. And I only looked at the viral videos. And I was like, okay, how can I apply this to lesbians? How can I
Hmm.
make this the gayest shit ever? And so I created a post, I posted it, and I thought, oh, that's had quite a few views in the first couple of hours. And then I was like, oh, I hope it gets like 5,000 views. That would be nice. I woke up and it was on like 30. And then yeah, it blew to like over 200 in. So
Oh
I
my
think I
God.
had not only that, I then posted again using the same technique, and I had 2 videos go in one weekend. So I got into the top 1,000 with a non-KU book. Yep. And I had 4 day I in 5 days I earned £5,000. Like, so £1,000 a day for 5 days. It was fucking insane. And I was just like, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, look at this. And so this is the first month I've had a 5-figure month in English money. So I've done 5-figure
Oh
months in
my
US
God.
dollars
Yes.
multiple months now, but I haven't done it in English money. So this, and I did that,
Sasha.
like quite a few days ago. So we're all placing bets on where I'm going to end up at the end of this month. It's mental. So, and the funny thing is, not only does it then explode your Amazon income, it then explodes everything else. So I've done $1,000 on Apple. I've done like ridiculous money on Google. My Shopify has increased. Like it's like where one thing increases, everything else increases.
Mhm.
And that's very strange. Like, well, the other thing that's happened is my KU's dropped because this book is non-KU, and that's the one that exploded. KU's now down at like 12% or something of my income.
That's
So yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it just? I'm still not going to remove the books from KU because just like wide is a strategy, I want something in that pot, and I've
I have
always
one
wanted
series
something
in
in that pot.
KU. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so this has been wonderful. I can't even remember why we got to this. Uh, what were we
I think I
talking
just
about?
asked you
Let me
how,
get.
what was going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so TikTok's been going off. And then I had like a series. I think the following 4 posts all got over 10K. So it was just ridiculous. It was a ridiculous week. And so yeah, that's been happening. Oh, this is how we got onto it. Significance achiever and having my ass kicked. So then what happened? The consequence of that is the very wonderful number of comments,
Oh,
number
yeah.
of DMs, number of emails, number of Instagram messages that people tell you what they think's going to happen in book 2. And they tell
Oh,
you,
no.
yeah, I really hope this happens. Oh, I really hope that happens.
Oh, no,
You
that's
can see where this
terrible.
story is going.
While
And
you're
then people,
writing it.
while
Oh,
I'm writing it. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And then people going, I'm so cross with you that I've got to wait for book 2, which is wonderful. I love it when people do that. I'm like, I'll play your villain. You know,
I
people
hope you've
telling
done
me
that
they,
TikTok.
yeah,
I hope you have. That would
I
be,
haven't. I will now
you
though.
absolutely will. Yeah, that's great.
That's amazing. Yeah. So like lots of people telling me what they think's going to happen, which is like, if I'd written book 2, I would love it. I would love to hear those comments.
Yes.
But because I haven't written it, it's not so great because that gets into my head as a significance achiever, somebody who wants to deliver for people. And basically, it scuppered my writing and I ground to a bit of a halt. And Ellie was basically like, yes, we've been here before. You're trying to write a book for everybody else instead of leaning into your self-assurance and writing the fucking book that you know you need to write.
Yep.
So I had to stop this week and I spent 4.5 hours in silence. It was excruciating. And I was just staring at the outline and sitting with the discomfort of going, my strategic knows something's wrong. What is it? 4.5 hours and my activator nearly fucking died. But I did it and I fixed it. And now that I am aware of that influence, I can ignore it.
Can
It's
you?
like
Because I was
yeah,
also going to
weirdly.
encourage you, maybe this is when you could hire Chloe just to watch the comments and until the
I'm
book is done.
no, because all that needs to, so my self-assurance is at 10. So it's not like the immediate strength that I pull on. But once I recognize that I need to pull on it, the blinkers come on and I'm like, that's
Okay, good.
nice. Yeah,
That's nice,
yeah.
but I've got the book. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need that reminder from Ellie to go, you're not listening to self. You need to block everybody out and listen to yourself. And then I'm like, oh yeah, fuck everybody else. I'm writing this book that I want to write. And then it's fine. But like it really was a reminder that we experience these different moments of influence and these different like, it's so weird, isn't it? Because with every beautiful thing that happens, like an increase in people telling you how much they love your book and stuff like this, there are consequences. And I don't think I ever expected that. I think naively, when I first, you want that dream of people telling you, oh, we love your book, we love your book. And you think there aren't going to be, how could you possibly have any negative consequences to that? But actually, we're all of these fractured humans on the inside that are carrying trauma and baggage. And I was having this conversation with Atlas. We can give out a statement or comment with a certain intention, but that doesn't mean the person receiving it is going to receive it in the way that you want them to. And he's been having to learn about that this week. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm learning it too, honey. So yeah,
but it also has like it's bringing to mind just the same feeling in me that I get like with the Kickstarter when the Kickstarter was going up and up. It's the same thing when I have a book come out and people come to tell me how much they love it. I am so happy. I'm so happy, and I also need to walk away. Like, it just makes me so uncomfortable, and that is about my own baggage, my own traumas, everything like that. And when we realize it and go, oh wow, no, you really can enjoy this. And I've had a few moments where I just put my hand on my heart and I go, isn't this amazing? Like, you've done this. You should be really proud of yourself. And then, my secondary voice goes, shh, but the primary voice says, no, you really do get to take this in and enjoy this. How tremendous.
So what a fucking amazing living the dream moment, right?
Yeah.
But I have to constantly remind myself that I am worthy of this dream and the results of the work, because that's my lesson, is that I always feel like I'm not enough. And even today in therapy, my therapist was like, so Sasha, why aren't you letting yourself rest? Do you not feel like you've earned the rest? And I was like, fuck you and your accuracy. She was like, you are worthy of the rest. And I was like, how dare you?
And that's I think why you and I get along so well, is because we have some of those same wounds. Mine is always about have I been productive enough to earn what I want? I can't have the good things, the fun things, the nice things until I have done enough of the hard work, the scut work, the stuff I don't want to do, which is all bullshit.
She was like, you don't need to earn rest. You don't. It.
I
was like, what do you mean?
You're a human being. If you are a human being, you deserve rest.
Yeah.
That's it, period. But I reject that wholeheartedly most days.
Honestly, I can't tell you the number of books I've read about rest. And I'm like,
me too.
Aren't they cute?
That's cute. The effect lasts for like a week.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we are trying. We are trying.
Exactly. We have to, work on our shit.
So you're working on book 2. Fantastic.
Yes.
Do you? What is going to be your next Kickstarter project? Will it be this book?
So I'm going to do 2 Kickstarters before the end of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Then yes, before I come to New Zealand, I will have written books 2 and 3.
Yep.
So the trilogy will be complete. I will do a Kickstarter for both books. I wanted to run it. I might still run the Kickstarter in July because of reasons. But it would have to be fulfilled when I'm back.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've done Kickstarter before, so you could preload everything. You know exactly what you need to do, how to push it, what emails to send. You're not learning that on the fly. So yeah.
So I'm thinking about having the Kickstarter finish before I leave, and then I would just fulfill the physical elements when I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be Kickstarter for books 2 and 3, but then book 2 would launch sort of just before we leave, and then book 3 won't launch until September, October time.
Yeah.
But if you do the Kickstarter, you'll get them. So I think I'm going to do that, and then have I mentioned the Sapphic Santa on here?
I don't think you've mentioned it on the show, but now you have.
Okay, well now I have. So I have really wanted to do a Sapphic Santa Christmas type story. And I've been really grappling with this. And I don't think that I can do a Hallmark sweet romance Christmas story. It's just not me. So I'm going to do anti-Christmas.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you after the show what I'm doing, because it's basically going to be a love letter to something. And that's going to be my anti-Christmas book. So that will be my other Kickstarter.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So, and that will be it. I can't do any more than 3. It's too much. That's enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing I struggled most with, I definitely know the thing I struggled most with in the Kickstarter were the emails to my list. Like I just felt so odd sending those emails, which I shouldn't. Kickstarter is just a store, and I was letting them know that my book and other things were available on the store. But I'm wondering, as we move to more Kickstarters, do you think that gets easier, or do you think you can send less emails? Or do we?
I just think that if people are on your mailing list, they want to hear about your shit.
No, I know. And I would say that to anybody else. I needed to hear that too.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
Because if they don't want to hear your shit, they'll unsubscribe. And
I want them to. I love an unsubscribe. When I go in and I see 100 people have unsubscribed, it literally makes me happy. I'm like, those people, I'm not paying for them to be on this anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about that. They want to hear about it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, are we going to do a podcast together in person?
Yes. We just decided this very second.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
It will be fun. It will be fun.
Perfect.
I might have to put the video out as well that time, because we'll be together.
Yes. Okay, that'll be wonderful. All right. Anything else you want to cover that you want to get done before the time we talk next month?
It's April, May.
Yeah, so that'll be the end of May.
I need to have written. This first book has to be sent off.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and commit to. Oh God.
Excellent. I wasn't going to come up with anything big, but I think I really want to. I want to have the audio done. I'm just going to say too many things. Fulfillment done, and I would really love to be deep or done with the recovery memoir revision, because that's the next thing to just get off the plate, and it shouldn't take too long if I go hard on it. So
big months for us both.
I know.
I like it.
I know.
I like it.
Okay, exciting. All right. You're the best. Keep it up.
You are.
Anything else that I missed asking you that I should have?
I don't think so.
Wait, I was going to ask you something about TikTok that people might be curious about. Oh, you said you're only running low ads. Are you running ads on TikTok at all?
No, not yet.
I was going to be surprised. I haven't heard. Okay. And the other thing was, no, I think that was. Oh, do you sell within TikTok, or do you sell via like a Linktree?
At the moment, Linktree. TikTok Shop is on my to-do list, but at the moment you have to fulfill yourself.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah. And Chloe has offered to help pack, but I'm like, do I really want to do that?
No, this cannot be worth it for $10 or whatever it is, with all of the things like, well, I didn't get the package. It was bent. The corners ripped. You don't want that.
No, I don't want it. So at the moment, I'm not doing TikTok Shop, but I think Book Vault are in discussions, I think. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
So if they do it, I have something else exciting to tell you, but I can't say on here. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm such an asshole. I'm so sorry.
Eventually, everyone will know about it, I'm sure.
I know, yeah. And then, so if they integrate, then I will absolutely do it.
Yeah, totally. I would. Shoot, I would. All right, my darling. Happy writing.
All right.
We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Don't forget to tune in and subscribe on your podcatcher. And when you have a moment, please leave a review.